TakeTones.com. TakeTones.com.
What is gravity? Is gravity illusion? Do we have enough information about gravity yet? Is Newton totally wrong about gravity? Did Einstein do enough about gravity? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Physics Maths World. Today we are going to discuss all about gravity. Gravity explained by an ancient philosopher and different physicists what they said about gravity. Without any late, let's start the video.
Humans only recently, like in the last 300 years, realized what gravity is all about. Greek philosophers thought that the planets and stars were part of the gods' realm and followed a natural motion. They did not realize that gravity is involved. The Greeks' ideas stuck around until the 16th century. Beginning in the 1500s, though, astronomers like Galileo and Brahe discovered that the Earth and other planets revolved around the Sun. Kepler showed that they moved in an elliptical orbit, not a circle. The question was why.
Sir Isaac Newton was an English mathematician and physicist who lived from 1642 to 1727. The legend is that Newton discovered gravity when he saw a falling apple while thinking about the forces of nature. Whatever really happened, Newton realized that some force must be acting on falling objects like apples because otherwise they would not start moving from rest. Newton also realized that the moon would fly off away from Earth in a straight line tangent to its orbit if some force was not causing it to fall toward the Earth. The moon is only a projectile circling around the Earth under the attraction of gravity. Newton called this force gravity and determined that gravitational forces exist between all objects. Using the idea of gravity, Newton was able to explain the astronomical observations of Kepler. The work of Galileo, Brahe, Kepler, and Newton proved once and for all that the Earth wasn't the center of the solar system. The Earth, along with all other planets, orbits around the Sun. Two astronomers, J.C. Adams and U.J.J. Leverrier, later used the concept of gravity to predict that the planet Neptune would be discovered. They realized that there must be another planet exerting a gravitational force on Uranus because Uranus had odd perturbations in its orbit. Perturbations are deviations in orbits. Albert Einstein, the general theory of relativity. Einstein developed a whole new idea about gravity. According to Einstein, gravity arises from the warping of space and time. Einstein's new theory of gravity explains a number of phenomena that would violate Newton's theory. For example, light bends when passing near massive objects like the Sun, and a clock raised above the Earth speeds up relative to a clock on the surface. Basic facts about gravity. Gravity is a force of attraction that exists between any two objects. There is a force of gravity between the Sun and the Earth, between the Earth and us, and even between two marbles.
Projectiles, satellites, planets, galaxies, and clusters of galaxies are all influenced by gravity. Gravity is the weakest of the four known forces of nature, yet the most dominant force. Even though it's the weakest force, gravity holds together entire solar systems and galaxies. The law of universal gravitation says that every object attracts every other object with a force that, for any two objects, is directly proportional to the mass of each object and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the two objects. The gravitational formula is, this is an example of the inverse square law. Gravitational force varies as the inverse square of the distance between the two objects. As a result, The effect of gravity falls rapidly as the distance increases between two objects. The best current estimate of G is that it equals about 6.672591 to the power minus 11 Newton square meter per square kilogram. The gravitational field for a planet, G, equals gm squared, where G is the mass of the planet and r is the distance of the object from the center of the planet. This means that gravity is greater where a planet is more massive and where it has a smaller radius. So even though Mars has only about 1/10 of the mass of the Earth, the gravitational force on the surface of Mars is more than 1/10 than on the surface of the Earth because Mars' surface is closer to the planet's surface. The force of attraction between you and the Earth is your weight. Gravity determines the escape speed for an object like a rocket. The stronger the gravitational pull of the object, the larger the escape speed. The following chart shows the escape speed for the Sun, 2 planets, and the Earth's moon.
Sun 620 kilometers per second. Jupiter 60.2 kilometers per second. Earth 11.2 kilometers per second. Moon 2.4 kilometers per second. So what is the conclusion? Let me tell you. Gravity is not an illusion. What we got information about gravity from an ancient philosopher and different physicists was not totally wrong about gravity. Somehow they were right, and today's physicists are just modifying and simplifying the concept of gravity. They are heading towards the more fundamental things about gravity. They are trying to broaden the concept of gravity. They are on the way of applying gravity. For more information, here we have discussed gravity from different physicists' perception. We explained it in general way. I hope you got more about gravity after watching this. If you are getting it helpful for knowledge, please don't forget to like, comment and share with friends who are curious about gravity. Please subscribe the channel for further more science-related videos.